Okay, guys, this is the matter test. I am going to walk you through it to hopefully answer any questions you may have about any one of the items on the test. Okay, let's go. Number one, matter can exist in many states. We all know that. Matthew observed the same substance in several different forms at different temperatures. Which diagram shows the substance at the highest temperature? Remember how particles move when heat is applied to them. How do particles move? All right, number two. What is the state of matter of an ice cube? Remember the models and whatnot, and then three states of matter. What is the state of matter of an ice cube? Is it a solid, liquid, or gas? Easy. Number three, what happens to a particle in matter when it is heated up? Heat. What happens to the particles in matter when it is heated up? Look at number one. How the heated up one, how did it look? A, particles remain in place. B, particles speed up. C, particles slow down. Or D, particles disappear. Number four, in the diagram, what terms refer to the change in states of matter indicated by arrows 1 and 2? So the arrow going from solid to liquid, what is it called? When you go from a solid to a liquid, what is it called? Okay, that's number one arrow. And then when you go from a liquid to a gas, what is that called? When the water disappears, what is that called? That's number two. All right, question number 5. What is the state of matter of water vapor? What is the state of matter of water vapor? 6. Which picture shows particles of a solid? A solid, which means it has very little heat. Okay, number 7. Match the characteristic of matter for each state of matter. Match the characteristics of matter for each state of matter. Okay, so for solid, each one of you going to check 2 boxes for each one. So going to check 2 boxes for solid, 2 boxes for liquid, and 2 boxes for gas. Okay. Eight. If you have 2 identical glasses, they each have 5 ice cubes in them, and you let the ice cubes in one glass melt, which of the following will be true? So you got 2 glasses. One has melted ice cubes, and the other one, the ice cubes are not melted. Which one will be true? A, the glass with the ice cubes in it will weigh more than the other glass. B, the glass with the ice cubes in it will weigh the same as the other glass. C, the glass that has the melted ice in it will weigh more than the other glass. Or D, the glass that has the melted ice in it will weigh twice as much as the other glass. All right. Number 9, identify the following changes as physical or chemical. M&M's melted in your hand, and do the drop down box. Is it a physical or chemical? M&M's melting in your hand. Is it physical or chemical? Remember, is it the same thing or is it changing it to something different? Cutting your neighbor's glass, physical or chemical? Spilling bleach on the carpet, physical or chemical? Tearing a hole in your favorite jeans, physical or chemical? Your bicycle rusting, physical or chemical? A hamburger digesting in your stomach. Digesting means it's being processed. It's going through all the enzymes and it's breaking down and being processed in your stomach. Is that a physical or chemical change? Use the drop down boxes. Number 10. Haley measured the mass of 1 cup of water and found it was 154 grams. Then she measured the mass of 1/4 of a cup of salt and found it was 53 grams. She poured the salt into the water and stirred it until she could no longer see the salt, which means it was completely dissolved. If Haley measured the mass of the water again, what should she find? So she has the salt plus the water together. What is going to be the total weight? 11. Anything that has weight and take up space is called. 12. Select all the words that are considered physical properties we discussed in class. Remember the stations we went to. That experiment we did when you went to the different stations with the different metals and stuff. Number 13. The process of a solid changing into a liquid is called, use a drop down box. When you change from a solid to a liquid, that's called what? The process of a gas changing into a liquid is called, okay? Think about the water on the outside of the glass, the water outside on the ground when it's wet, outside on the ground, where that water come from. Okay, the process of a liquid changing into a gas is called what? When that water disappeared off the ground, what happened? And the process of a liquid changing into a solid is called what? You're only going to use one answer once. Imagine you have a soccer that is flat and needs to be inflated, which means it needs to be blown up. Explain how a soccer ball filled with air shows that air is matter and must exist in some form, even though you cannot see it. Okay? Think about the characteristics of air and what we said about air. How do you know? Think about the definition of matter. Okay? Complete sentences must be used. Number 15. Materials have different properties that allow us to tell one material from the other. Materials have different properties that allow us to tell one material from another. Matter can be changes in many ways. Sometimes matter is changed in many ways. Okay, it was typo. Sometimes matter is changed and a new substance is created. This type of change is referred to as a chemical change. Which of the following are examples of chemical changes? Check all that apply, which means it's more than one answer. Check all that apply. And it is 4 answers. You will need to check 4. Okay, you will need to check 4 answers. 17. A candle that is lit is an example of both types of matter, both types of changes in matter. The wick burning, the burning part is what type of change? While the wax melting is what type of change? Okay? The wick is the stick, the part that you actually put the fire on. That's the wick. 18. When matter is changing states from liquid to a gas, some of the matter is destroyed. Remember the video on conservation of mass. It says energy can neither be this nor this. All right. 19. Which of the following are made of matter? Choose all that apply. Again, matter is anything that takes up space and has weight. Anything that takes up space and has weight. 20. A material that allows energy to flow through it is called what? A material that allows energy to flow through it is called what? 21. Kylie mixed yeast, sugar, and water in a bowl and observed a bubbly foam begin to spill over the bowl. Describe the change that occurred and what evidence you have to support that claim. Again, you need to use complete sentences. Think about the experiment that we did with the vinegar and baking soda. Think about the experiment. You saw bubbles then too. How do you know a chemical reaction occurred? 22. The law of conservation of matter states that blank cannot be blank not destroyed, just changes blank. You use all three words only once. You use all three words only once. 23. These materials were used in building the Statue of Liberty. Based on your knowledge of science and the information discussed regarding the Statue of Liberty, what other factors or materials may have also been a part of the reason the Statue of Liberty has changed appearances over the years? Think about the penny. What other factors? Think about the Statue of Liberty, where it is located. Think about the penny we had in the cup. And why did we say we came to this conclusion of why the Statue of Liberty changed colors? Okay? Again, complete sentences. 24. Separating a mixture uses a blank process. Separating a mixture uses a blank process. Cereal and milk are separated by blank. Salt and water are separated by blank. Okay, think about what I did with the salt water. Put it on a hot plate. What happened? To separate mixtures that have blank, the best depuration process is evaporation. A magnet can separate blank from pencils and erasers. I mean, what's the only thing you can use a magnet for? Okay, that's the only thing you can use a magnet for. All right. You will only use one word once. You will use these words one time. Make sure after you choose your options, you go back and read the sentence again to make sure it makes sense. Okay? And 25. Physical properties are used to describe matter. Read the sentence below and fill in the table with the measurable and observable properties. Make sure you put the property in the correct column, okay? My dad bought a red Mustang that has brown leather seats and 22-inch tires. Now, which one of those properties, descriptions in the sentence, which one can be measured. It has a measurement. Put that where the measurable property is. Put the measurement and the property right there. Now, which one is observable? Remember, observable means can be seen. Can be seen. So, which property is observable? Put that in the box that says observable property. All right. Make sure you submit the test after you complete it. Good luck.